Good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
Students, do you remember what we studied in the last video?
Sir, we learnt about solar energy. Stupid, it's not solar, it's solar energy.
Correct. We learnt about solar energy, and along with it, we also learnt about harnessing energy from sea. Today, we are going to learn two more non-conventional sources of energy. The first one will be geothermal energy, and second will be nuclear energy. So let us start with today's lesson, which will be non-conventional sources of energy, and in that we are going to study about geothermal energy and nuclear energy. The first topic is geothermal energy. The word geothermal means Earth's internal heat. This heat is the thermal energy generated from radioactive decay and continual heat loss from the Earth's formation. To harness this energy, wells are dug deep into underground reservoir to access the steam and hot water there, which can then be used to drive turbines connected to electricity generator. So this over here is a turbine which is used to drive electricity generator. Let us see it again in detail. Due to geological changes, molten rocks formed in deeper hot regions of Earth's crust are pushed upward and trapped in certain regions called hotspots. When underground water comes in contact with the hotspot, steam is generated. Sometimes hot water from region finds outlets at the surface. Such outlets are known as hot springs. Then the steam trapped in rocks is routed through a pipe to a turbine and used to generate electricity. The cost of production would not be much, but there are very few commercially viable sites where such energy can be exploited. So, such sites are very rare. It is not found everywhere. In India, very few states are there where we find such geothermal energy sites. There are a number of power plants based on geothermal energy operational in New Zealand and United States of America. They are operational, while in India it is on experimental basis. Students, I hope you understood how we can harness geothermal energy.
Sir, do we have geothermal power plants in India?
Yes, we have it, but the install capacity is experimental. We have them in Chhattisgarh, Jammu and Kashmir, Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, and Jharkhand. Next topic for today is nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is the energy in the nucleus of an atom. Atoms are tiny particles that make up every object in universe. There is enormous energy in the bond that hold atoms together. So this at the center over here you will find nucleus. In nuclear power plants, an atom is split into two smaller atoms. The two smaller atoms don't need as much energy to hold them together as the larger atom. This difference or this extra energy is released in the form of heat and radiation. So here you will see how an atom is split into two smaller atoms. Nuclear power plants use the heat released from the reaction, which is basically a fission reaction, to boil the water into steam. The steam turns the huge turbine blade. As they turn, they drive the generators that make up electricity. Let us see it again in detail. In a process called nuclear fission, the nucleus of heavy atoms such as uranium, plutonium, or thorium, when bombarded with a low energy neutron, can split into a lighter nuclei. When this is done, a tremendous amount of energy is released. The fission of an atom of uranium, for example, produces 10 million times the energy produced by combustion of coal. In nuclear reactor designed for electric power generation, such nuclear fuel can be a part of self-sustaining fission chain reaction that releases energy at a controlled rate. The released energy can be used to produce steam and further generate electricity. In a nuclear fission reaction, the difference in mass m between the original nucleus and the product nuclei gets converted to energy E at a rate governed by a famous equation E is equal to delta mc square. Now what is delta m? Delta m is the difference in the mass, and what is c? C is the speed of light in vacuum. This equation was first derived by a famous scientist Albert Einstein in 1905. Now let us learn the significance or the importance of this equation. Let us move all the things apart and keep only equation. Let us move it on the upper side. E is equal to delta mc square. Now here let us see first what is c. C, as we know, is the speed of light. Do you know speed of light? Yes, correct. It is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meters per second. And what is that quantity? It is 3 and 8 zeros meters per second. To put it in simple words, it is 3 lakh kilometers per second. That much is the speed of light. And when we square it, that is, if we multiply 3 lakh kilometer per second into 3 lakh kilometer per second and then multiply it with a mass difference, you will get the energy which is released in nuclear fission reactions. So even if the mass difference is in grams or even less than that, the energy released will be tremendous, because the mass, when it is converted into energy, it is converted into a very large amount. So that's the significance of the Einstein's relation, which is E is equal to delta mc square. That's all for today. Let us see today's assignment. There will be 2 questions. First one is write a short note on geothermal energy, and second will be how can we harness nuclear energy. Students, remember that we have only studied advantages of nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is very sensitive issue. It has its own disadvantages also, but that we will study in next video. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask me. See you in next video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye bye.